Welcome to the Liquid Nights podcast. We just here, just trying to feel the vibe, just trying to feel the energy. We're just trying to lift you up, trying to be positive. And if not, we're just going to, yell and scream. Hey, what up?
Dude, you were talking a minute ago about the salt and pepper in your beard. You had the salt and pepper in your hair. You need to see Jose. Is that what happened? Because I've never, you bent over for a second.
Don't be asking. Salt and pepper up there. Hey, no, sorry. That's classified above your pay grade. I don't know you ask questions.
You know the boy's back right now, so you can go.
Yeah, I got it. I got a plan. Just don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Please.
My bad.
I am.
Let's move on. Yeah.
I have no idea. Anyways, I like to take a moment. Okay. So, we had the passing this week of Frankie Beverly.
Yeah.
Which struck me because last Friday I stopped at the barbershop, plug in my boy, Tony's barbershop on 40th Street in Tampa. But it was like, and when I walked in the door, he's playing Frankie. He said, I've been playing. He said, I've been playing it for 2 days.
Yeah.
Because he got Lexa, and we're hitting all the stuff. And then everybody's talking about how many times they see him in concert.
Yeah.
How long it goes back, because he's generational, right?
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly, when I first hit Frankie, I was still in school, like early 70s, late 70s. But it was just awesome. And then just it passing, he was 77.
Yeah, which is still young, right?
Yeah. So, but they was saying, and I was saying about, because read about it, the band was playing in Northern California, but they got their start. Marvin Gaye heard them, and he sponsored them. He didn't want any money. He the one that launched them, and it set. They was good, of course, but he wasn't trying to get a piece. He wasn't trying to be an agent. Marvin just did it because he's Marvin.
Yeah.
He was just excellent, huh?
I saw that you posted the other day about this and looked like it went viral and everybody's hosting. I saw a couple of them in Texas and Tampa that's coming up on that September 20th. It's an all-white
day?
They call it all-white grown and sexy day party featuring Frankie Beverly all day, nothing but the signs. So everybody's been posting it all over like Eventbrite. They got all these parties coming up where it's just an all-white day party all day on the 20th. So I thought that was kind of cool. I saw that you did that.
Yeah.
I think it's the 20th or the 29th. There's a bunch of different parties going on.
Because, Frankie, their sound is just... Remember, you guys weren't at the party. We had what's it, Misha's wedding party? Because Lakia hosted it, right? And she put on some Frankie Beverly and called all the families out. Say, all the Downers, all you Englands, all y'all, get out of here.
Yeah.
And Before I Let Go. And she played Before I Let Go.
Yeah,
it was excellent. Everybody was singing because they got pictures there, and that was a great night. Everybody hit the floor because it's Frankie. It's something about his sound, It's something about
Frankie.
Then again, Tony was at the barbershop, and he was telling me, he said, "Wait a minute," because he said his cousin called him from Philly, and that Frankie had just performed it a couple of weeks ago, and he told him that night it was going to be his last show. But he told me with somebody to know that speak. Frankie has Philadelphia roots also because his grandmother grew up around the corner there, and so she's from Philly. So that's why he does all those things that Philly people feel for him, even though he's a Northern California guy up there. It's Philadelphia too. So I said, wow. Okay. He hit me with it. I didn't know, bro. That was awesome. It's something about his music and what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly. All white. We talk about concerts. I saw Frankie Beverly at the Bayfront Center in St. Petersburg. The old Bayfront been torn down now. It was excellent. He was the headline act. But they opened with Benny Lattimore, which you guys probably don't know, but anyway.
I know.
And then Last Night in the Pips, then Frankie was a headliner. He comes out in one of those tall chairs, those stool type chairs, pushes out. He sits on it sometimes. He sings, picks his guitar up. It was just insane.
I have to add, because I've been following it every single day because it's just such good music. Did you tell me you saw the whole half-hour tribute that Ron Isley did? It was spectacular. And it was emotional, but it was spectacular.
Because Frankie Beverly to all of us is like, because it's real R&B, real rhythm and blues, and his writing was so good because he wrote all this stuff.
Yeah. The
writing was, Joy and Pain. Everybody's done about the Joy and Pain.
Raw soul, man. It was straight up raw soul is what it was. And it was feel good stuff. I mean, you can connect with it. How about that? You can connect with everything.
It came out in the first album, 1977. I didn't know it was going to be Look at California. He sung about Look at California. What's that great? It's insanity. It's insanity. But then well, they were talking in the barbershop, the song Southern Girls. Because my boy said he moved here from, my barber said he moved here from Philadelphia, so he'd been living in Philly. So he came to Florida in the South, and the people were more friendly, women was more friendly. He said, when Frank would start singing with those Southern Girls, we had a good conversation. It was an excellent conversation about the Southern Girls. Yeah. Well,
now, you said that he performed a few days or a few weeks before.
A couple of weeks ago. In Philly.
Yeah.
That's what my barber told me, because his cousin called him and talked about it. So he was just here.
But do we know it was natural causes or anything? Do we know
I don't know.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. I mean, it's not important, but
sometimes people know stuff and they're just passing on. So but Frankie is like, I saw him, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 times, over the years.
Yeah.
20-some years, he was at the Witham Theater in L.A., in the Mid-City District. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I've noticed go ahead. Sorry.
Now, I was going to say, so it was just great for me watching all the tributes. Like I said about Ron Isley, the Patti LaBelle tribute was something I saw her on Instagram doing. And Usher did a huge.
The Usher one.
The Usher one was really good too. So it was a lot of pouring out on those. It was really good, man. So it's like, hey. And then the same thing from Magic. Magic did a little tribute as well, which was really good. So everybody came out and did their thing. And I felt really, really touched by all of that, because I am a Frankie Beverly fan.
Beverly
always have been. So
the music was they weren't like, they didn't get a lot of in the pop area stuff like that. In the community though.
Yeah. So you're right. They weren't as mainstream.
They weren't pop. They was not his stuff. But his stuff was
his stuff hit home.
Oh,
hit
all the time. When he goes like, happy feeling, he's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. I know.
Anyway, so that's just us. That's Frankie. That's our tribute, because it's good.
Then we have another tribute. Overnight, we heard the sad news of Tito from his 3 kids, and that hit me this morning. I woke up this morning, I was like, wait, what? Tito? 70 years old. I was like, man, come on. That was another one. I was like, all right, what's happening? What's happening now?
It's like this. Okay, so as far as the Jacksons go, the Jackson 5, when I was coming up, those guys are all in our age group. Michael and Marlon was a little bit younger, but Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, all those guys, my other immediate brother, your dad and me and my other brother, there was our age group. It was unheard of at the time for a black act, especially teenagers, be doing anything. You guys cannot really understand what that meant to all of it. It was incredible.
Yeah.
What they did. You know what I mean? And how they was doing it.
I agree.
So this morning I'm looking at it, oh my goodness, because I'm the same age, almost a year or so, you know what I'm saying? But it was, but then I read this article that you posted on WhatsApp. So, which I'm glad what the people printed out, because I'm gonna tell you a short story. I was sitting at Doc B's here in Temple one night, and there was a couple sitting there. And we were saying something about the Jackson or something. The woman that was with the guy, and I don't want to talk about what ethnicity it was, but anyway, and she said, well, when I think of Joe Jackson, I think of pimp. And I had to hold my tongue. Yeah. Because she's with, I didn't want to just, and my brain was saying, you are stupid.
Yeah.
If you knew the family, if you knew the history of the family, you know that this man, between him and his wife, Catherine, this guy worked in a steel mill in Gary, Indiana. He's a musician himself, a guitar player, but he trained his kids, he disciplined. Yes. Yep. But he ain't a pimp. He made this possible because he, not only they of course, he and his wife procreated for the kids, but I'm saying he disciplined them. So I was talking to my friend about it earlier this morning about it. I say, and people got all sideways because Michael said, well, he beat me. I say, listen, my dad beat me. Every time he beat me, I deserved it. So they probably deserved it too. It's called discipline. And she made a comment which I had look at. You cannot judge disciplining your children today, but when you discipline your children like in the 1960s.
I agree.
Because then your children will be cussing you out like they do these days.
Exactly.
You know
That's the one thing I actually had this conversation a few days ago with a good friend of mine, and because they were asking me, was like, how I've met people like you, all this and that. He was talking a bunch of gibberish, whatever it was. He was like, but you are different, blah blah blah. I said, he goes, what's the difference? I said, because my dad gave me home training.
Yeah.
I said, it wasn't just home training. It was, this is what you do. This is the repercussion of that. Be better.
Yeah.
Do better. And it was always about doing better. And for me, like to this day, I've never cursed in front of my parents.
Oh,
never will.
No.
None of my elders. Never will.
No.
Never talked back. Never done anything. I'm sitting in a room with my son one time. And, again, the whole spare the rod, spoil the child thing, whatever, however you want to think about it. But that day I was sitting there, I was so embarrassed when my son jumped, in just casual conversation using certain words that wasn't approved. And I looked at him and I said, listen, it's okay. I guess it's okay that you did that in front of me, but don't ever disrespect my parents like that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Not do that in front of my parents. I said, I will allow that with me because this is a different kind of world. I get that. But if you know me, I don't do that. I don't disrespect. Never. I said, yeah.
I was sharing something with a friend about that. I said, I was sitting, this had to be, 30 years ago. And the show, I hear one of my sales guy, he was young. And you know him, but I won't call names out. Yeah. He was on the phone with his mother. He cursed his mother out.
Yes.
On the phone.
No.
So I got the phone. When he got off the phone, I said, listen, if I ever, don't let me hear you talk to your mother like that, because I'll be putting my foot in your behind myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this? You don't talk to her. Why are you saying it to her? You know what I mean?
No, it's just,
So
you can tell. Yeah, go ahead.
So spare the rod, spoil the child is a real deal. But anyway, back to the Jackson. But I read that this morning, and I was happy that somebody put the article you posted, when you posted on WhatsApp, that someone gave him, because this woman said this at night when she was sitting with a man outside just not to say anything. Because obviously she was too young, she didn't know anything.
Right.
No, she didn't know the history of the family. The man worked in a steel mill in Gary, Indiana, came home at night, put his kids through rehearsal, trained them, drove him in a panel van. Yep. You know the history of the family.
Yep.
Talent shows and different things. Now they had talent because they got from him and his wife. But somebody had to work with them and make sure they didn't get in trouble. They didn't get a lot of women pregnant and different things when they got really famous. They didn't do none of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And this is 1968, 70. This is 50-something years ago. And they didn't get, because a lot of people didn't like it, hated them, all this kind of stuff. They did not have an issue. There was no issue with these guys.
But think about what he was doing. He recognized immediately that his family was on the world stage. You got to represent properly. But you
have to. But he had to discipline them boys.
Yeah.
So they fought, and the daughters.
He had boys. I mean, they're boys. And
a bunch of boys. They had 9 children. They had 6. They had 3 girls and 6 boys. Yeah.
Yeah. So think about it. You got now you got a little fame, a little recognition, a little money. You got a cartoon show. You got your tour.
They had, because they moved from Gary. They moved from Gary to Los Angeles. They lived in Encino. I know where the compound is. I've been by it because I true story. I was going to like Ralph's supermarket one day. This is like, I don't know, 90 or something. And I see this Rolls Royce out and I said, top in the grocery store, Rolls Royce. It was Catherine, but she had like 4 or 5 little grandkids and stuff. And then a giant bodyguard standing beside of Catherine Jackson. True story. It's like,
want to go to Ralph's.
You gotta get some grocery shopping done. You gotta get the thing.
But the point was about when I read that, I said, because people think Joe was like, what do you mean? Sure, they had problems later on in their marriage. Yeah, but that doesn't stop anything from what he did for them and what she did.
I agree.
To make what they are and what they continue to be. So to Tito passing on today, rest in power, brother.
Rest in power. Rest in power.
So it's just, it made me, because he was saying how much they miss Michael. He was talking about it on different occasions.
They just went to a memorial was set up a couple weeks ago. Because they're doing a little bit of touring. They stopped at a memorial that was in that area. Oh, in Munich, in Germany. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because listen, Jermaine, his father, Joe, before Joe passed a couple of years ago now, played at the House of Blues on Sunset. Awesome. Yeah. They do that's a small venue. The House of Blues is not there anymore, but the original House of Blues on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. But you say, please.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to But people who don't really know the family know the magazine, all the stuff people put out there and stuff. It's if you, in 1970. No, they came out in 1968. So this is like over 50 years ago. It was awesome. If you were a young teenager at the time, I was.
Yeah.
It was something. Trust me on this. Anyway.
That's a good tribute, man. Good, look, I like that. Sharing a little bit of a. I wish I was there when you met Catherine. I would walk up to that brother and be like, hey, man.
No, the guy was too big, dude. I wasn't going to do nothing. Get on out the way.
Get on out the way. All right.
Excuse me?
I ran into Jermaine and his dad at a Red Lobster back during that same period of time because I lived in the Valley too. I lived in Sherman Oaks. Encino is all the same community. Yeah. It's all the same thing. Yeah. You can see people around town and stuff. You just don't act like a fool. Just say,
no.
I'll speak to them and stuff.
Do your thing, do the head nod.
Anyway, so Tito, yeah. Because Eddie Murphy used to clown Tito. He was one of the older brothers. He was a musician. He carried the band. He helped. He had the kind of talent maybe like Michael or Joyce, but he still was doing the thing.
He was doing his thing.
He wouldn't be in it.
Listen, he learned all the dance moves. He was back there with his guitar. He was doing all he could.
Because his dad was a guitar player. Joe was a guitar player too. So the guitar sometimes the lead guitar leads the stuff.
Yeah, and the bass carries the beat.
Yeah, that's Jermaine.
That's it. Yep.
So it's just anyway.
They're a talented bunch of groups. So
okay, here's a quick story. So
okay,
I'm talking to my friend of mine the other day. She'd say they were in their office business the other day talking about all the great concerts they seen, and then her boss was saying, "Stop! I don't need to talk about it because I've seen all the best concerts in the world." So I saw the Victory Tour in Massachusetts, and I said, "Well, because I saw it too. I saw it in Jacksonville when the Jackson got back together in 1984." Yeah. They did 2 stops in Florida because they didn't even come this far south.
You told me about this. You went to Jacksonville to see it.
They were in Miami and Jacksonville. I lived in Tampa and had to work that day. It was Sunday night. So
you drove, right?
I worked, picked up my wife, and drove to Jacksonville. To the Gator Bowl.
Ooh.
The Gator
Bowl. The whole concert.
The old Gator Bowl.
I ain't gonna tell you what else I do anyway. So we partied. In the concert, when it was over, I get in my car, I drove back to Tampa the same night.
Yeah.
You can do that when you're in your 20s.
Back then, yeah. You can do that. Yeah. That's a long drive.
I remember people talking about the Victory Tour. Because that was 84, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I remember when I got that on VHS. I watched that tape to that tape.
Dude, I was there in the Gator Bowl. Nobody sat down the whole night.
Yeah.
And I had listen, because people were talking smack because they was complaining how high the ticket price was. It was like $30. It was like insane. But we had my wife and I. We had floor seats. I'm ready to stay.
It's the Jacksons,
it was
man.
Insanity. That's what I say. I don't know how much it costs. I'm going.
Yeah,
because I never had a chance to see them growing up because they didn't come this far south that often. They did.
I bet that show, like we talked about it a little bit ago, but I know I bet that show was.
Listen. Michael was at the top of his game because Thriller was out too, so they got back together. That's why they called it the Victory Tour.
Yeah.
So they had the boys, the other brothers had a hit album. Jermaine had a hit album, and of course, Thriller was off the charts.
Yeah. So you had everybody doing everything.
It was
at that time, wasn't Jermaine on Epic at the time? That's what they were talking about. Did he move to Epic at the time?
No. So Jermaine, well, I don't know. He left Epic from Motown because the family left Motown to go to Columbia. In 1975, but maybe he was. I don't know. But his album was out. Oh shit, I don't know. But
signed. I think he signed the Epic. No, he didn't sign. No, okay. I don't know. I don't want to.
But it was. What I'm saying is, they're always on top of the world.
Yeah,
they had that song "Torture." But the Jackson
that was my favorite. That's why I got the Victory VHS because of Torture. Torture was my song. When that song, I was like, oh man, that's me. I wanted a jumpsuit.
As a little preteen, let me let you know the word. I was there.
I wanted a jumpsuit. I wanted a jumpsuit. I wanted fire popping up behind me.
He was younger than a preteen.
Yeah, when I was 9 years old. When Torture came out, I was there. I wanted sparks shooting from behind me in the jumpsuit, and I was trying to do the move, little chubby man I was.
You have to understand. So that concert that night, the pyrotechnics and stuff they had was way ahead of anybody else was doing at that time.
Dude,
besides maybe Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Dude, it was a show. It was a
no,
show.
No, I was in there. We were in the Gator Bowl. This shit it was lit up. It was just, yes. I was so pumped up that I could drive way back home because I could never relax anyway.
So did you listen to the 8-track all the way back?
I had graduated above 8-track by then.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
all right.
cassette, man. Let it live.
Yeah,
Let him
cassette
live.
by then.
All right.
This is 84. I had my son
Hey, yeah. So back then, so just out of curiosity, because I just don't know. So was there a lot of merchandise back then where you can get the hat, the shirt, the this, or
Probably,
that?
but I didn't
whatever?
see any of that night. It's just
You
a
didn't
blur
need
me.
to. You didn't need
Because
to.
I needed, no, we need to get back to Tampa. We came for the show. We had no loitering time. Get out, get back. No, because what I'm saying is, I think the show started about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I left Tampa at about 6 o'clock because I had a shift to work.
You were falling.
You had to get back.
I went behind, picked up the wife, changed, roll. She was a trooper. We hit 75.
Yeah.
Done. It's still what, 2 hours? I don't have. I can. How it was. I just know I went.
You made it a little bit faster, and you were
probably.
Yeah.
Why you had to see how fast I was going? I was still young.
I understand. You had to get where you needed to go. I understand. I'm just saying.
What were you in then? What were you riding in? Cadillac? What you had?
I was in a company car. I don't know. When I was working for Lincoln Mercury, I was probably driving a Cougar, those cool Mercury Cougars back in the day.
Cougar or something, all right.
Yeah, so yeah. But it was a company car. So yeah. I had my own car. Did I take my own car? No, we took a company.
Like that.
But no, I was 29. So you could do anything.
Okay.
You was 9, dude. I was 20.
I was 9. Okay, Coach Cheese. Okay.
No, but this was something that I still remember because it was that good. It was that good. The speakers on the east side of the stadium, and then Mac do his thing when he did his fiddle stuff, and he talked about the white shoes and stuff, and the moonwalkers. It was just insane. People were screaming so loud. Trust me, victory tour.
Nice.
Been there, done that. I'm probably over talk, but I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good. That was a good tribute, man. That was
all right.
Man, I'm excited.
Hand claps on that.
Those guys are good, dude. This is what they did for us young people, young so-called African-American people and stuff like that, or black, whatever you want to do these days.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. They
were something. And there's a lot of people came behind them or at the same time with like 5-star stuff, the Silvers, all these people.
Pioneers.
It was all excellent stuff.
It was all excellent.
But the end all was the Jackson 5.
Jackson 5. Yep. Because I think that's what really kind of started that whole 80s, 90s boy band era.
I was going to say that.
And the
they were the best.
Yeah.
Now they had, what's the little troop? What's this little dude? What's the Partridge Family? Not the Partridge Family. What's the other little band? They started trying to be, the Osmonds.
Osmonds did.
Osmonds
did that. And then we got into more pop when it was like New Kids on the Block because they were doing the same move.
Yeah.
But New Kids on the Block was
20 years later.
Yeah, but they also were trying to copy from.
But these guys are
New Edition.
Jackson 5 was so good.
So New Edition. So let's go back. So that's what I really want to say.
So here's a tribute.
New Edition. Well, the New Edition was in the 80s, and they were 5 guys. Out
of the Boston. They were from Boston, right?
They were from Boston as area. So the same thing. They had the dance move. They had the study. Because if you go back and watch the docs or the TV episodes or whatever of how Ronnie only had to learn these steps and they didn't know why, and they kept bringing Michael up. And every one of the scenes, like, look how the Jacksons did it. Look how they did it. It was all imitating that stuff. They wanted to recreate.
That's it's just great stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I tell. So even when they produced their first album was called Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, but in reality, it wasn't Diana Ross that put them on strike. It was
no.
It was oh gosh, it's Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight's the one that found them. Yeah. But Diana, which I love, don't get me wrong, I love Diana Ross. So Diana was bigger, so that's what it said. Diana Ross was it. Yeah, bigger.
Had to put that name on there. Got it.
Yeah, that's what. And they was insane. Everything they put out for like the first 2 years was a hit.
Everything was a hit. They had us all crying. Ben, even
Ben,
when they,
for the movie Ben,
yeah,
the separate album.
yeah, they had it all. It was
I
like,
watched
wait,
the movie
what?
about a rat.
Yeah, we cried over
Dang rat.
That rat. I tell that every day. I was like, Ben's about that rat, right? Ben. I was like, but then when they animated it in the cartoon series,
I didn't know that.
You got to watch it. I had to go.
I'm not watching it anymore. That's fine.
You did. You can watch the clip on
the album. I love the album, but what I'm saying, that, and Michael was only about 12 when they did.
He was young. Yeah, he was.
This was
really
for solo, but when the first two albums, Diners Present, ABC, the first three albums was Saturday, dude. I Want You Back. I was still in junior high school.
Yeah.
Everybody down at the hot dog stand getting a taste of freeze, a hot dog, and all for about a quarter, paying some.
Man, Ben came out in 1972.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, dude.
1972. This man had hits in every decade.
Again,
every decade.
Tito, it's just that family. What people they don't understand how what they did and how it's incredible it is. And when people put it down, it kind of it vexes me. But I'm older now, so I don't. When I was younger, I really find them. But that's another story. But again, that's all I had to say about that.
Love it. Great tribute. That is that.
Okay.